I haven't been playing too much Rising Tide. I've just been playing other stuff. The excitement kind of died down as I realized that although Rising Tide is a decent expansion, it's still got quite a ways to go. So I just got kind of lazy. But I'm still wanting it to become a good game eventually. I'm still hoping for that. So I'm back again. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting so darn long, but the semester will be done soon, and I'll be able to focus a little bit more on knocking this out. Yeah. All right, so this is going to be real light. It's going to be real quick, because honestly, there just isn't too much to say about it. It's really quite simple, and hopefully the next video I'll come out with it quickly as well. And once I'm done, I'll be able to move on to what I want out of the next expansion, which is really where I'm going to go with this. So let's get started. All right, unit diversity. So there are just not as many units in Rising Tide that are viable. Now, I got someone comment where somebody said, well, there are a lot more units, and yes, you're correct. But a lot of these units are not viable, right? You can get the supremacy units, you can get the purity units, but you can't get them in time for them to be worth it. It's like saying, oh, I can, you can get this random cool unit during the classical age. It's like, yeah, well, that wouldn't matter if it's not strong enough, and that's the whole idea of a strategy game. You have to have X amount of viable units, or else they're just useless. Who wants to play like substantially suboptimally? Nobody usually. That defeats the purpose of a strategy game. Why are you playing if you're just going to use units that are not good? And that's what would happen if you tried to use all the units in the game. So you have to stick to your hybrids for maximum efficiency. Yeah, sometimes you can grab some that are like a pure affinity one here and there, but they really just don't outclass the others, especially with the way that this game is designed with the whole strength and the whole strength idea. You're better off just using your own units. Okay, so there's 6 different affinities, so you got to divide like all those special added units into 6. So again, yeah, you have a lot less. So what's actually missing? Well, there are no bombers. There are no nukes, which, some people say that's not really a unit, you just use it once. Yeah, but hey, it's still gone, right? And it's technically still a unit. There's no anti-air, so you don't have that. That takes away from that whole issue, or that whole possible interaction that you have there between air units and planes, which really does dumb things down a lot. Dedicated paratroopers. So yeah, you don't have a unit that's like a paratrooper in itself that I can recall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there is. Now, of course, there's the transporter, the whole transporter deal, but that one is just it's a tech, and then you can transport anybody, I believe. So yeah. Then we have the helicopter. That's not there. Now you're going to say, who uses the helicopter in Civ 5? Yes, not too many people. Again, it's not a viable unit, but it could be put in the game and it could be made viable. I think that could be something that would be interesting. And there are no guided missiles as well. Now, of course, you've got a couple of things you've got a couple of like the oddball unit, like the satellite that can shoot, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. But that's a stationary thing, and I don't know, it's very particular. So yeah, and a lot of the units you might think like, oh, they're different, like, oh, there's the supremacy siege unit. Yeah, that one's different, but it's essentially an artillery. That's what it is. So a lot of these units are not actually that special. The hybrid, for example, my favorite hybrid affinity is supremacy purity. I was really excited about them, but then I realized that essentially their ground tier 1 unit is basically just kind of a medic soldier, but it's basically just a soldier with like a very small heal. So it's not even a dedicated healer unit. So yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that. Yeah, there's nothing really special about these units. It's just not enough diversity, honestly. And you look into Harmony, and you just have a big, strong unit. Melee unit, that's it. So there's not a lot of special units. It doesn't keep things as tactical as I'd like. And then the hybrids are even more gutted than the main affinities. They have to rely on the main affinities carriers. They have to rely on the main affinities subs. They have to rely on the main affinities planes, and that's just, it makes Rising Tide look so half done. And your army just looks really goofy. So yeah, that's my issue there. Yeah. So that's really all I got to say in terms of unit diversity. Next, which is part C, which is again going to be real short. Is there anything on this map worth fighting for? Not really. So you get this big, I don't know what you want to call it, artifact or relic or whatever you want to call it, the giant skeleton. All this thing does is really take up space and start the quest. Now I believe that the small ones, which are these, right? It's the same type of thing, different biome. These natural wonders, not natural wonder, something wonder. I forget what they're called. These are actually, yeah, they don't add much, and it's only if you complete the quest and then you build a city next to it. It's very situational. Do you want to go out and build a city there? Like, take all the bad points about this. It may not be worth it. I don't really recall offhand what the bonus is, but this is just not interesting. There's still nothing consistently on the map that you want to fight for. This again is a problem. The only one thing is that that world wonder in the fungal biome, which provides a bunch of food. But again, that's only one spot, and that's it. So that's again an issue in the game. There's nothing really worth fighting for on the map. I think that's a problem, and yeah, that's basically all I really got to say about this. I mean, it makes the map boring, and it makes conflict a bad idea, and that again spawns from the idea that the game is entirely too short. So you can bum rush victories still fairly effectively. I mean, the best way to win is just to get one of the victories, which, if that's the best way to win, then why declare war type of deal and put yourself even farther behind. Even in Civ 5, a long game where it takes a while to get to the victories, you still don't want to fight all the time. You want to fight carefully and take things quickly. And in this game, it's like, yeah, it's not. It's an issue that that the game has. Fighting is just not interesting. There's nothing to fight for, and without these luxuries. So I almost wish they just brought luxuries back. I'd be okay with that, or anything else really. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. I think that's about it for today. Again, I said, yeah, this is gonna be real short. And the next one will be a little bit longer, but not too long. And then I'll go into what I want for the next expansion, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about my favorite affinity, which is Supremacy Purity. All right, it's great to see all you guys again. I'm glad to be contributing again, and you guys take care. I'll be seeing you guys soon.